Ashley. Yep, that's me.
And me.
Cheers.
Cheers. What's up, amiga?
Oh, you know, just out here surviving.
Back like we never left.
Basically. I mean,
The break between season 2 and season 3 was for sure long. But I don't know between 1 and 2. I don't remember.
oh.
I think between 1 and 2 it was like 2 months.
Oh,
2 and 3 was 6 months.
yeah.
3 and 4, you must have been busy.
I mean, yeah. When am I not busy? Wait, when did the season end?
We ended the season at the end of June, but the
Yeah.
final episode didn't come out till August 1.
I was traveling up a storm. Paris, Dubai, Turks and Caicos, came to New York.
Yeah. All I know is that you were keeping tabs on me the beginning of the summer, like I was
Yeah.
traveling.
Yeah.
And I want you to know I was keeping tabs on you. Okay?
You started off strong and
And you finished
I finished strong.
You finished
I
strong.
did. Now you see how it feels.
No, but I always invite you.
I mean, I don't feel like you weren't invited. I feel like you were.
I love that.
I think I definitely told you to come to Dubai. I definitely invited you to Turks.
Okay, fine.
Paris,
I think
you were meant to come.
you were right about Dubai, but Dubai was crazy expensive.
Yeah.
It was obnoxious. And
Yeah.
then Turks, I don't think was an option.
But to
I
be
know.
fair, I said
I could come.
yes.
Okay, I'm gonna walk my take back.
Thank
Take is
you.
walking back. Take is walking
Thank you.
back.
Thank
Take is
you.
walking
Run
back.
it back, run it back, run it back.
But safe to say, you never came on my trips and I never came on your trips, and
Exactly.
now we're here to
And
talk
now
about
we
them.
can catch up.
So,
Yeah.
how was Paris during the Olympics?
Unpopular opinion. Paris is not that great to me.
I'm with you. This is why we have the show together, because our unpopular opinions are usually the same.
So here's the thing that I want to say. Olympics, I'm sure anywhere are hectic, right? But like the first day I was there, it rained during opening ceremonies. Like
I called Ashley. She was sitting in the bleachers, just miserable.
miserable. I was like holding like a thing. It was awful.
Yeah.
To get anywhere, streets were shut down. There was not an actual bombing on a train the day before the opening ceremony, but like an explosion went off. And so they shut down the train system. It was like, you know, it was a lot going on, but there were really great moments.
Okay.
I enjoyed my trip to Kith in Paris.
Right? And that's Siddell's that's
The
in there?
Siddell's. I sat at Siddell's, had a great lunch by myself, very much enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did some shopping.
Ashley was able to get inside of the Hermes store
Yes,
and brought me home a goodie.
I did. Because that's the type of friend I am.
You're right. Screw the invite on the trip. She brought me
You know
home.
what I'm saying? She just tried to roast me
I
for
did.
not,
My bad, my
but
bad.
I brought her home a bag, literally. The biggest
Shorty
bag.
brought me home
Or the littlest, but
the
biggest.
littlest but biggest bag. I had no idea that getting into the Hermes store was the production that it is.
Yeah.
And getting a leather appointment.
Yeah.
And I feel like people who are into bags and stuff know this, but you know, that's not my thing. I didn't know, like, you can't just walk into an Hermes store in Paris and do. I know in the States it's impossible. I
it's
thought
impossible.
in Paris you were.
Yeah, no.
So
It's
what is the
impossible
process?
regardless. So a few things. You have to know someone, like you have to have some sort of contact within the store. So that was the first thing. We
Yep.
got that.
Yep.
We tag team that.
Yeah. I went to Paris in June, and I told Ashley that I was going to get her
Yeah. She did.
a Kelly bag.
And she didn't.
And I didn't. I failed, actually. Long story short, there's all these rules. You have to go on an off day. You
Yeah.
have to have an appointment. You
Yeah.
can't look thirsty for the bag. And I failed. But what I did do was get the lady. I got the lady's
She
info.
did get the lady.
So when Ashley went,
This Ashley. I went on an off day. I had the lady, slid up in there very early, doors open. I'm there. And we made it happen.
and now we both have mini Kellys.
We do. I love this for us.
I love this
Either
for us.
way.
Okay, we're back.
Kelly down.
So Kelly down, and I
Yeah.
owe you a full apology.
I would take it now.
Yeah, I apologize. Thank you. I prefer you bringing me back a bag than being on that trip.
Yeah.
Anyways,
win.
Okay, so you went to Paris, you shopped, saw the Olympics opening ceremonies, any fun events, any good things going on, parties, dinners, what happened?
Had a few great dinners. What's the place called? Sienna.
Oh yeah, Sienna's good.
Sienna's great.
He owns another place,
Caesar, also great.
owned by the same people.
Yep, love it. Went to basketball game.
Honestly, I grew up on the dream team.
Yeah, me too.
This was probably the closest I felt like we've had to the dream team in a while. I felt
I
like
didn't pay
this was
attention.
compiled of superstars.
Yeah.
Like the dream team.
Well, was Grant Hill on the dream team?
I believe so.
Well, I also saw Grant Hill.
Ooh,
and I don't know if
your
anybody-
panties got wet.
I don't
You
know
love it.
if I've told this story, but like Grant Hill was literally when I was in probably 6th or 7th grade, Grant Hill was like it for me. I did a 15-minute speech on Grant Hill. And I hope everyone understands, in order to do a 15-minute speech, like you have to know a lot. That's a long ass time to talk about somebody. Especially when at the time he was like,
He wasn't even married to Tamia yet.
yeah, like he was still
That's
like,
one fact down.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I was obsessed with Grant Hill. I didn't get to like speak to him, but like I got to like be near him and I felt the aura. What I will say is that man is aging to perfection. A lot of these older NBA players are not aging the same. He looks like he is healthy. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He looks like he is in perfect shape. He looks like Grant Hill, like of 20 years ago, minus the gray hair. And the gray hair is giving, it's serving, yes.
We need like
Charlie told me that the new thing is to say fine shit.
we only need 4 more minutes and she can complete her 15-minute dissertation on Grant Hill. So just give it to us. Tell me more. Tell me more. We can do it again. You're running.
Oh my God, that's all I got. But I will say that may have been the highlight of my Paris trip.
I could believe it. That man
Yeah.
looks good.
What?
Yeah.
I was just so impressed because, like, obviously we're all getting older. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
Speak for yourself. I'm not getting old.
I'm just, well, if we are getting older, we need to age like Grant Hill because he looks, his skin is good. Like, he doesn't dress like a corny old, like, you know what I'm saying? He kills it.
It's tricky because basketball players do not age well.
No, they don't.
Basketball players
They
age
don't
poorly.
age well at all.
Poorly.
Very, 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 very bad.
You know my favorite story? And I'm not sure, I think we may have told it in the podcast, but I'm gonna run it back anyway. My favorite story is how Kanye West, remember, he used to exist without a cell phone. And he was popular, but you would have to call people around him or whatever. I think he had an email address. He might email, but he would not use the phone.
Yeah.
Well, when Kanye West found out that Kim Kardashian was going to marry Chris Humphries, he got a cell phone. He texted Kim and sent her a bunch of photos of old retired basketball players in really bad jeans. And he said to Kim,
Specifically terrible jeans.
Yeah. And Kanye said to Kim that this cannot be your future. Think about it.
Damn. That would have stopped me from marrying him.
But also, if you Google Chris Humphries right now, Kanye West was not wrong.
He's wearing blazers with button-ups and bad jeans and dad shoes, I bet. Because he probably wears a size 17 and has to order his shoes off the big and bigger site. And listen, don't get me wrong. I love my basketball players. Like, appreciate them as clients and hope that they keep me on even after their careers are over so that I can help them with their transition.
Okay, here it is. Do you remember Cocktails with Chloe?
Of course.
That was like one of the
That was
original
like-
podcasts, right?
Oh
Imagine.
my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That was prime Chloe days.
Prime.
Yeah.
Here's her explaining the story.
See, Kanye just got a phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He used to never have a phone.
I got a phone because somebody decided they wanted to marry Chris Humphries, and I was like,
I remember when you didn't have a phone.
I honestly forgot that happened.
yeah, I forgot about the Humphrey marriage
really
too.
forgot about it.
I wasn't up to anything, and I looked on the internet, and there was Kim Kardashian with some extremely tall person, and I was like, I need to call her or something, and so I started sending her pictures of like certain basketball players that used to be cool, that now they wear their pants like all the way up there. Like, this is your future.
That's epic. And also, he really loved her. That's major. He got a cell phone just to text her to tell her not to marry that. And she still did, but
She walked it back.
she
like,
walked
you're right.
it back. And I'll never forget. Did you watch Kardashians during that time frame?
I
Oh
never
my
saw Kanye and the
God.
Kardashians.
When she was married to Chris Humphries, there was an episode and you could just see it all unraveling. She had opened a store, or she was in New York for whatever reason, and like Kanye comes by and you can just see the unravelment of everything in that moment. That was a great episode. But the point is, yeah, no, retired basketball players are some of the worst to ever do it.
Yeah, I can't hold you. So Grant Hill is wearing the proper jeans,
He's wearing just the proper grown man shit.
and he's like he was on the coaching staff or something, or is he on the?
He's like the president of USA Basketball now, or something.
Sexy.
Like he's just a whole vibe.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'll piggyback on your unpopular opinion about Paris.
Oh, okay.
I was in Paris twice this summer, like I
Yeah.
had 2 different trips. And I will say I finally had more fun in the summer in Paris than I have previously. I went other times of year. So it was cold and it was rainy and it was all those things that you had kind of explained.
Yeah.
But this summer it was nice and you could walk the blocks and sit outside at the cafes and all of those things that were nice. But I think there are a few core things that bother me. I know it's Europe as a whole, but the cigarettes are really hard for me. The cigarettes are hard everywhere.
Everywhere. Also, every Uber or anything that I got in, it stunk. And I don't understand. Is that like a Parisian thing? They don't wear deodorant, correct?
I don't know that they don't wear deodorant over than they don't use certain products.
It's just weird that where perfume started, that it can't. The people there are musty.
Yeah, so the cigarettes are tough. The body odor is tough. And I have to be honest with you, the food is also tough for me.
It's not great.
I understand that the bread is a thing. The bread is good.
I had some very good croissants.
Yes, great bread. Everything else, I feel like I ate the same meal everywhere I went because I knew that was the
What'd
safe
you
route.
eat?
So I'll do caviar anywhere.
You know, that is actually shocking to me that you eat caviar.
I love caviar.
It's very un-Ashley.
But, you know, I got put onto it at your birthday. Remember
Oh,
when
yeah.
me, you, Khadijah, and there was
At
a fourth,
Wally's.
Jen, went to Wally's?
Yeah.
That was the first time I'd ever had caviar.
Oh, yeah, they make it great.
But also Khadijah decked out the Bellini so well
Yeah.
that I would have never put the cream on, would never put the chives on. I would have never done that. But because she forced me to eat and I tasted it all together, I'm like, okay. And so now I build like, come on, I'm
Yeah.
out here.
Out
I am
here.
out here, caviar
Killing
bumping
it.
and everything.
Yeah.
We went to Crazy Horse. I had just caviar and chips. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Killing
in.
it.
I'm in. So I hella caviar and a lobster pasta.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's like I had like spicy rigatoni or
Yes.
whatever everywhere.
Whatever
I went.
pasta option you
Yeah.
have.
Hella pasta. I had a good salad at Siddell's.
Okay.
But like even the Caesar salads and stuff, like the dressing was not great.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's weird. Yeah.
I'm sure we sound ignorant and everyone
sure.
hates us for this, but like it's an unpopular opinion, but it's ours.
Yeah. Period.
So
So you don't love Paris. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Dubai. You're like becoming I don't know. You got a couple of
Dubaian.
Dubai stamps now.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. So lots of good traveling.
Yes.
One thing I noticed while you were traveling
Yeah.
is that you had given me your location and you turned it off.
What do you mean?
Oh no, bitch. You stopped sharing your location with me.
That's true.
When and where did you stop sharing it and what were you hiding?
I have first of all, I am someone who stands strong on the fact that I don't share my location. So the fact that you have my location is wild.
No, we had this whole conversation and I said, at least give it to one person, Ash. And you're like, fine, I'll give it to you. You gave me your location and I had it. And then you turned that bitch off. And I was like, where did she go that she didn't want me to know where she was going?
So you know where I was, bitch. You was tracking me. Where was I when I turned it off?
I don't, no, I wasn't tracking
you
you.
don't
I
know
hadn't heard
when.
from you. And I was like, damn, where is she? And I went to go look and it was gone.
Ash, this is crazy because I've always said I don't share my location.
did it
I
on-
even
we
share it
did
with
it-
my kid.
Of course, and you shouldn't. We did it on air. We did it is a whole episode of you sharing your location with me. And you took that shit off.
I don't believe this to be true.
Ashley, 1,000%.
But when I would go in, I wouldn't see it.
Because you don't have my location.
Oh, so I share my location with you, but you don't share with me. What type of relationship are we in?
You can have my location. I'm just saying nobody had yours. And remember, you were doing a bunch of solo traveling.
For work and stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, somebody needs it, Ash, just in the event that anything happens.
Could this have been when I had to delete your... Remember when you were having the phone thing and I
Yeah.
deleted your
Other
contact? Remember? And then I had to re-add it?
I'm not sure because here's to be fair, I wasn't ever checking your location.
I know.
But when I went to look for you, bitch, I was like, oh, she's hiding.
That's crazy. It had to be maybe when I deleted your contact. Because remember, I kept calling the wrong phone.
She's good. Look at her. She's got all these reasons why.
Ash, I swear to God, like on everything, on my children, on everything that I love.
Yeah, run that location right now. Run your location
This is so
right
aggressive.
now. And I'm going to tell you how this is crazy. You know, the other night I left Sienna's to go to the comedy show and the karaoke night? Mm-hmm. Well, my phone died. And nobody has the old charger anymore. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back to my friend's house and then order a charger, wait for the charger to come, plugged my phone in, I fell asleep. She's worried, but because she has my location, she saw me on the map and she's like, she's in Beverly Hills. Like, I know this area.
Oh, so she knew.
So
you
she
were
was
okay.
cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like, Sienna never is like, where are you? I see you're here.
It had to be when I deleted your contact.
It must have been.
Yeah. Because I swear to God, I swear on my children, in front of Ashley, God, and you, the viewer, I did not delete my location. I swear. I promise I didn't stop sharing my location with you. So
I've been watching all these memes. You know, have you seen the memes when friends are like tracking their friends? Like, girl, you told me you wasn't going back to his house. Every time I see one of those memes, I'm like, oh, Ashley was going somewhere. She didn't want me to know and she turned her shit
you know
off.
everywhere I go.
Yeah.
You basically know every move I make.
So anyhow, Pam, if you need her, you can call me. Anybody can call me.
Yeah.
But somebody needs it.
It's done.
And it's a little weird to me that the younger generation,
All they do is share.
and it's like, why don't I feel comfortable with everybody having my location?
That's what I said.
I have a few like younger homegirls or like my sister and her friends. They share their locations with their friends, with their parents, everybody has their location.
Oh, thank you. Absolutely not. There's no malice. It's just, no.
Right?
Absolutely not. That's why when you just said that I shared my location, I really don't remember because I feel very strongly about not sharing my location with anyone.
No, it was a
It was a
forced
forced
conversation. It was
conversation.
not like you
Okay.
were willing to do it.
Yeah, that is funny. Okay.
But why for other people is it safety and for us it feels like an invasion of privacy?
Because we're old.
Is this an age thing?
I don't know. It just feels like such an invasion of privacy. Like, I don't care if we're dating, like how like people have their boyfriends, husbands' location. Wild. I would never want it.
Nope.
I would never give it.
Nope.
It's not a thing.
No.
That's crazy, actually.
And I agree, it's not just about him knowing where I am. It's me knowing where he is and it not matching what he said, even if it's innocent.
No, it's going to drive me
If
crazy.
he told me he's going to Best Buy and it's like, damn, it's been 2 hours and I look on the map and he's at somewhere else, I will think, because I never saw him at Best Buy, that he never even went to Best
Yeah.
Buy. And
And
it's
it
just
might
like,
be at the bank or at the grocery store.
This is what I'm
or
saying.
stopped and got a smoothie. Like, you don't know.
well, whatever. We're all over the place.
I know.
So that I did want to know that wanted you to know that through all your traveling, there was one thing that stuck out, and it's that I lost you at some point.
I know I didn't do it on purpose, but that's funny though.
That is super funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like we're back.
Yes.
A lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
Viewers don't know you've been navigating a pretty difficult situation in your life.
Ooh. Well, she set me up. I was in a pretty long-term relationship with the father of my children. We've been dating since college.
Yeah.
So it's been a very long time. We obviously have 2 kids together. You know, the relationship had ran its course and it wasn't a quick decision.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I think that I struggled with a lot of things, mostly because of the kids and like the idea of what a family looked like to me. So I think that ultimately kept us together a long part of that
Maybe
time.
longer than you needed to be.
Probably longer than we needed to be. I can think back to the times where I was like, well, I don't care. Like, I can suffer through all the things because it felt like less of suffering than not being with him.
Obviously, we're really friends. These mics, right?
Yeah.
The conversations where times were hard. Or maybe like you were in that house at a certain time of the night and he still wasn't home, and how you felt when you guys couldn't communicate. But there was something that kept you holding on.
Our kids and like the idea of what a family should look like, comfortability, like the fact that we had been together and had worked really hard at a relationship for really long. And I'm not someone who just gives up easy on anything. So I really struggled with it. But what I realized is that in the end, making the tough decision, which ultimately I had to make, was what was going to be best for our kids, be best for me, ultimately be best for him, be best for the relationship. It's been hard because I'm not seeing that right now, but I do still have faith and believe that at some point it'll come around and like, you know, hopefully we'll be able to be friends because like this is someone that was in my life for a really long time. So it's always going to be tough.
Yeah, and you know, I think that when we look at our own childhoods.
Well, and that's what I realized in therapy was like I was literally creating the same relationship and the same, ultimately what would end up being the same result as my parents because that's what I grew up around. So that's what I know. So it's like, oh, being in the house with someone and not talking to them, that's fine. My parents did that all the time. Well, I was fine. Like, well, actually, no, I'm not fine. And that's not the way that a relationship is supposed to look, even though that's all that I saw growing up. But now realizing it and realizing, man, my mom stayed there way too long.
Do you really feel like that?
Yeah, I do. And it was one of the very moving forces within me because I kept being like, I'm doing this for my kids. They need us to be a family. But if you're not ultimately showing them what true love is or showing them how to really love someone or be a partner or do any of those, you're actually hurting them because that's what happened to me. I'm thinking like 2 people living in a house and not sharing finances and not communicating and just like moving as solo individuals who cross paths like this occasionally. Well, that's what I thought was normal, but actually that's not. And I don't want my kids to then go and be in a relationship like that. Like ultimately I would love for them to have someone that like, and not that there wasn't love there. No one technically knows me better than him.
Not a chance.
And no one knows him better than me.
Correct. It's interesting, though. I think that the kids is always the biggest driving, motivating factor. But there was another piece that I believe kept you there additionally. Did you feel like you owed him anything?
Yeah, I did.
And do you think that that might have also kept you hanging on a little bit longer?
Yeah. He took good care of me, of us. And
I think a lot of people get caught in that.
yeah.
And I know that there are stats about relationships that divorce and relationships ending post careers of professional athletes. And I feel like for a while, you also didn't want to be one of those stats.
I didn't want to be one of those statistics because it's like our relationship was so much more than that. I didn't want people to look, not even people. I didn't want him to look at me and be like, oh, well, now this is gone, so you gone. Like, because that's not what it was. And I didn't want to become one of those statistics. And I think that is why I really, really tried really hard for really long, because I believed that we were better than that and greater than that.
And I think that you are and were.
Yeah. And I don't disagree. I think more than anything is that you have to think about, like, we were 19 and 20 years old. At some point, you have to realize the amount of growing and changing that we did together was phenomenal. And we did a really good job for a really long time. But then I think that just kind of comes to a point where it's hard.
Can't imagine what it felt like to feel like you owe someone, or that you don't want to be a statistic, or that you, more importantly, and I think you said it, like Deshaun.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it feels like to have 60,000 people screaming your name and
I don't think
have
any of
this
us can
money
ever.
and have all this, and then to, once it's gone, to go back to the reality of what it is to live as an average person.
Yeah.
And then when you become that person, your partner leaves.
Yeah. So then you're like, oh, you was just with me.
And
Yeah.
it's like, no, not
No,
a chance. That,
not
you know
a
what I mean?
chance.
Like, look at this life that we built for
Yeah.
since we were children.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
No.
And I think it's important that men hear that is not the case a lot of times, and how much women do struggle before they really finally cut the cord.
Yeah.
I know for sure that you did not want this relationship to end. You were going to be willing to be down as long as you needed to be. But it's crazy because, like, what did that do to you in the process?
Wrecked me.
Right.
Yeah.
Deshaun's a great father. Now, I could imagine that was like
Yeah.
a hard choice
Yeah.
and decision.
Yeah. You never, like, because you care about someone, you don't want to take away the things that you know make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that being a dad made him happy, and waking up with his girls or being able to take him to school made him happy. So if I could help that, I wanted to for as long as I could. But then it's like, again, through therapy, I began, you learn that, like, it's not fair to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately the goal is to, like, heal.
Yep.
Obviously I have a lot of, like, past hurts and stuff that I wasn't able to heal from. And so until you make sort of like a
Space for it.
yeah, you have to make space. And that was hard.
Yeah.
And that's what I think made it hard, because it's like I spent so long just trying to make things work and fight for a relationship. And then when you kind of get to the point where you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes a really hard
Hard thing.
goodbye.
Hard goodbye. I feel like we have a whole season to touch on what life is like now. You know what I mean? What
Yeah.
life is like now
Yeah.
for you, and like what all of that is. But as I've watched you have to go through it, and
Yeah.
I know that I'm only getting 25%,
Yeah.
maybe 10% of what you're
Yeah.
actually going
Yeah.
through. I see it, and I know, and I'm proud of you, even though I
Yeah.
know it's difficult.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm proud of you cutting ties with Deshaun.
No.
I'm proud of your personal growth.
Yeah.
Deshaun is my brother.
Yeah.
He will stay that way.
Yeah.
Deshaun is the mother of those girls.
Father.
Sorry, the father. Deshaun is the father of your girls, and he's
Yeah.
always going to be that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not proud of the separation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of your ability to now focus on yourself
Yeah.
and take what was keeping you in it from your kids, from the guilt, from his happiness. Like, all of those things were not led by you.
Yeah.
They were led by others. But I think it's going to be a very fun, interesting journey to watch.
It's interesting. And it's like I'm learning a lot about myself. And, like, I think when you are in a relationship for so long and so much effort and time and, like, decision making and whatever is based off of, like, another person, it's very interesting, the feeling of, like, moving what you need to do for yourself or what you need to do for your kids not what we need to do for, you know what I mean? Like it's really relearning, because it's like my entire adulthood I basically spent with him. So it's been I'm in intensive therapy.
Yeah.
Intensive therapy. Yeah, and I have a lot of hope.
Yeah.
And I believe that we have a strong enough foundation, and like that I believe we will make it through this, and there is like a better friendship, co-parenting on the other side of it. Like I don't feel like, oh, this is it for life, this is gonna be awful. Like I don't feel that way.
Because you know
that
him.
is positive. Yeah.
You know him.
Yeah.
And you know how he deals with disappointment.
Yeah.
And you know how he deals with tough times.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to keep that knowledge of like, yo, he isn't a stranger. He is really someone I know, and I need to let him work through this the same way you're working
through it. Yeah. Yeah. And even now it's like we don't really talk. He might hate me. I don't know. But like I saw him at Chase's dance even last week. And it's like I can't help but like when I see him, because I haven't seen him for a long time, you want it to be normal and be like, hey, and then it's not. And then you're like, damn. Okay, it's not normal. I think it's funny. I can laugh at it, and I guess that's good. But it's like we're kind of like standing there being awkward, and we used to go to like the football games at the girls' school, and like he knew some of the coaches, so we could like go on the field during the football game or whatever. So I'm like, oh well, Chase is probably gonna perform down there. I'm gonna walk down there to watch her so that I can. And he was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go on the field, and I was like. Oh, can I go with you? And he was like, with me? No. And I was like, okay, I'm head up there. See you later.
Sorry to spring that one on you, but I just felt like we did need to address it.
Yeah.
And it was important. And yeah.
And I feel like it's your turn.
Bitch.
I feel like
I felt like I was helping you. Like that was something you like were I felt like essentially hiding from the podcast.
I mean, yeah, for some time, and I was quite comfortable living there. So that's weird. And what I realize is that, and what everyone needs to realize is that I'm also not the only one that's been hiding shit. And I've been trying to out this bitch for some time, and she is the main one that edits the podcast and makes sure that we beep and we edit. And so you have anything to share with the podcast, sis?
I mean, I feel like it's safe to say that we've officially switched roles.
Yeah.
You're officially single, and I'm now the girl in a relationship.
Yeah.
What the f***?
What the f***? She's in a relationship, everybody. She has been for some time, and she's been lying to all of you. So.
First of all, I never lied. In fact, we have a great clip in which we specifically specified.
Of course, she's going to pull up the clip.
Some people hide their relationships.
That's fair.
And some people keep their relationships private.
Mm-hmm.
And those are two different things. Everyone that is in my life personally knows that I'm in a relationship.
Yes.
Our friends, our family.
As did my friends and family, no?
I don't.
No, it's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I am particular about keeping my relationship private because I've experienced the bad side of it being public.
Mm-hmm.
Living in New York City at the time that I did, dating a player that played for the New York Knicks, I had public opinion in my relationship.
Trash.
I had people that had negative things to say about me that would secretly DM him or email him and at the time I did not have the partner that could stomach that. Mm-hmm. And so it always turned into a fight or an argument from a stranger, from a blank page.
Yeah.
It turned into fights because A, obviously the person didn't trust me, or B, they weren't built like that. And so I've kind of just taken comfort and safety and not sharing details about my relationship. On top of that, I run an entire page called Dear Young Queen that is catered to like a single woman's perspective. And so upon getting into this relationship, A, I had the hangups of my previous relationship and letting the public be a part of it. But I also had B, like I needed to figure out what the voice behind Dear Young Queen would also become. Because like there was some moments like I would read memes and it's like, I don't feel like this.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there ain't no good men out here. Da, 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 da. And it's like, I have a great one. I have a great
Found
one.
one.
And I also feel like my partner and I have a bit of an age gap. And I am someone that has often judged women who were older and dating younger.
Oh, okay.
And as you can see, there are a lot of public relationships now with
Shift.
older women and younger guys.
Yeah.
And the world is like not so accepting. So it was just like I've had a little bit of nerves around openly being comfortable with that. All of those things just made me want to keep it private, not secret.
Yeah.
But yes, I am in a happy, healthy, loving relationship with an incredible man who has taught me a lot of things about myself. I feel like over the last year or so, I've learned to be like a little less rigid and stuck in my ways. I've learned to apologize a lot more. Like a lot more. I've learned that everything that I thought that I wanted in a partner is probably what is actually not best for me. I picked someone that is a bit opposite than other people I've dated in my past. Instead of picking someone that I feel like is kind of just like me, I've picked someone a little bit different, and it's allowed me to put the mirror up to myself more than like looking at someone that's gonna
That's-
co-sign
yeah,
and
co-
sees just
yeah.
like me and thinks just
Yeah.
like me and
Yeah.
all of those things. And it's
Yeah.
forced me to become a better person. So,
Oh, nice, Ash.
so yeah, we've officially switched roles.
Are we gonna have baby?
Are we gonna have a baby? I don't know. I'm gonna freeze my eggs because I just told you
Yeah.
about an age difference.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the next steps are,
Yeah.
but I do know that somehow, bitch, you're sitting in a different seat and I'm sitting in a different seat, and I am anxious to see how this season goes.
Yeah. It's a little bit different.
But also, I need real relationship coaching.
Yeah.
Like, it is a different experience for me because I had been single for like 7,
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah. Long time.
A long time.
That's a long time.
But on the flip side, that means I got 10 years of dating advice for you, bitch.
I know, we out here. That's what I do know.
Yeah.
I know who to be like. So when they do this, what that mean?
Don't worry. I got you. I got you. I got you. But yeah, so here we are, sis.
Here we are,
New life.
swapping seats.
Swapping seats. Wait, bitch. Are you wearing a zip patch?
Yes, I am.
Ashley, we can see it.
And guess what? I told you last time, I don't really care. If this is going to prevent the zit that I felt forming under my skin from actually surfacing and becoming a giant thing, I don't give a f.
I just
I
don't.
also had Christina try and put the makeup over it, but
I'm dead.
you can still see it.
Listen, more power to you that you care more about how you feel than other people feel.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Okay.
What
Thank
I
you.
am not with is the fact that it feels disrespectful. It feels
who?
like you're playing us like, oh, don't worry, she will never see this. Like, no,
Oh,
bitch, I'm
no.
not blind. I see it.
I'm not worried about people seeing it. I'm worried about it being effective because I know if I just sat here all day and let this pimple fester, that by tomorrow I'm gonna have a giant pimple. Whereas today I can wear a zip patch, and tomorrow potentially it won't even come. It'll subside it. If you catch it, and like I get the ones that are helpful for before they've surfaced. So there's different pimple patches. I'm a pimple patch connoisseur. My skin's been breaking out really bad lately.
I guess my real issue really with pimple patches,
Yeah.
because like at the core, you know what, you're right. What anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
I'm with that thinking. When I'm in public, like
Yeah.
if I'm at the grocery store or I'm at the wherever and the agent is there with like a pimple patch or like, you know, they have star ones or
I hate this.
whatever. Like
Those
it
are
just
aggressive.
bothers me. Like you're at work, take it off.
Yeah.
Ashley, we're at work.
I know.
Okay.
Well, I did my best. Like at least I still like have makeup on. I did my hair.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I put
yeah.
on a cute sweatsuit. Like I did all the other things. I just
Okay.
also have on a pimple patch.
Fine.
But that is for my own well-being.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. I've just learned what's best for me in the long run.
But just next time, bitch, we will switch seats. You can sit over here. Take
I know.
that pimple
That
patch
is
off.
a thing. I thought maybe this little swoop was hiding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are a community though.
Yeah.
Like
We
either
stand
you with pimple patches or you don't. There is
That's
no
what's
in
funny.
between. I am saying this speaking from a privileged place because I don't have skin
Yeah,
issues.
you have great skin.
But when I do get something, I still do the old school shit. Like I do toothpaste or I do like.
yeah, that's for people who don't really break out, and that's cute for you. But like,
So
if
you're
you
saying
really
toothpaste
break out,
would not help you?
No, This shit's hormonal. This is different.
Got it. I'd be like, yo,
Like you get a pimple. You get a pimple when you decide to leave your makeup on for 5 days. Like,
no, I always get them with my period.
oh,
I always get pimples
no.
with my period.
Then you should just do a pimple patch. It's so much better. Because imagine like you're wearing toothpaste. You could just put a pimple patch. It's those same drying, pulling out ingredients. Like, I'm telling you, whoever created pimple patches, I wish I would have thought of it. I swear to God. Whoever did this is a genius. Also, you can put pimple patches on bug bites.
Oh, it works.
Yes.
Because it just dries everything down.
Yes. So I started doing that to Chase. I'll put, like, because she gets bit by mosquitoes and stuff, and I'll put the pimple patch on it.
It takes it away. Do you also wear those little things? You know how people wear those things under their eyes?
I don't do that. Like, people sleep in those. I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
They
Those, like,
slide down.
the closest I ever did when I was younger is I used to wear those like Biore strips that would pull everything out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, that was like essentially a pimple, like that was a pimple patch.
That was like newer
Same
technology
concept.
for
Yeah.
skincare back then.
Same concept.
I'm selling my sea buckthorn oil. Nothing.
Oh,
no
yeah.
water. And it
Are
got
you
crazier.
using Best Skin Ever? Yeah.
I've actually stopped with the cotton route.
You just put it on.
I wet my face and I use my fingers now.
Maybe I should go back to that.
I'm telling you, your skin might be okay with soap and water, but you would have to
Yeah.
commit through the process. And it's funny because I was having a conversation with Sienna's dad, who's crazy fasting now. He's done like 35 pounds. And Sienna was like, oh yeah, Ashley used to fast all the time, blah, 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 blah. And I told him that, like, you know, I just started getting sick from not eating this, that, and the third. He said, you got to think about it. He said, there was a time where we would catch a kill. We might not eat for 3 or 4 days as a people. We would have some berries or some nuts or whatever. Like, our body is designed to be okay going through that. And so I bring that up to say, I think that our skin too, like, we've just introduced so much stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal.
I know mine is hormonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ash, we back for season 4.
Yeah.
We are bringing back the segments that fell by the wayside in season 3.
Okay.
Like the Dear Young Queen meme of the week.
Dear Young Queen, Mima, what was the song?
Do, 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 do.
Do-do-do. Amazing. Okay.
This week's Dear Young Queen meme is, don't key his car, sis. Pull the sticker off his license plate.
Oh, like so that his registration isn't up to date.
Exactly.
Hey, get him pulled over.
Get him
a
pulled-
ticket.
You key his car, you're in trouble. You
Yeah.
take his registration.
He in trouble.
Period.
I like that.
And
That's
it's
smart.
all up. This meme is all about working smarter and not harder.
I love that.
And there's just like kind of so many things like in relationships that I feel like people could, women in particularly, could work smarter and not harder.
Yeah.
So for instance, I had a friend who's dating a guy who has like the baby mom from hell. And the baby mom likes to show up wherever she is with him. And every time my homegirl gets like so frustrated or so mad or it'll ruin her time. And I'm like, sis, smile, have fun, and be happy. It requires a lot less work and it is more effective for the crazy
Yeah.
baby mama.
She's trying to make you upset. If you don't get upset,
And then like once you're upset, you do stupid shit.
yeah.
But when you're not upset and you're just like working smarter,
Yeah.
not harder. Well, along these same lines, I saw an amazing video this week.
Uh-oh.
Did you hear about the woman that signed her prenuptial agreement with disappearing ink?
No. What? Like, huh?
Watch this.
I was the lawyer for the woman who signed her prenuptial agreement with disappearing ink. So when he decided he wanted to divorce her to be with his receptionist who was 1/3 his age, he pulled out the prenuptial agreement and told his wife, I hope you realize you're not getting anything because you signed this. And she's like, where did I sign? And then he looks at the prenuptial agreement and realizes there's no signature there. Because she had a little proof that he was already rendezvousing with the receptionist, she got an astoundingly large divorce settlement. She wasn't done being petty though. What did she do with all that money? She bought a majority stake in the company company where her now ex-husband was the CEO. And then as the owner of the company, she fired the CEO. So this receptionist who left to be with this guy is now married to an unemployed individual. So the receptionist realized she was in this for the money, and now that this guy's unemployed, she went ahead and divorced him. So now the CEO is now no longer a CEO. He's a single, unemployed person with half the net worth that he previously had to all this divorce drama. The ex-wife still owns the company, and out of complete spite, she installed his worst enemy at the company as the new CEO. The statute of limitations has expired on her little disappearing ink scam, so she is freely talking and bragging about this thing to everyone she knows.
Come on.
Baby.
That is a smart, smart lady. I want to know her.
And when we say work smart, this is what we mean.
Yeah.
She could have easily got mad at him, blew up. Oh, you're
Yeah.
that young hoe. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da. But she was like, oh, you gonna do this and you're gonna divorce me? All right, watch this. Before you do this, bro, signing it with disappearing ink,
I didn't even know disappearing ink was really a thing,
baby.
but I need a pen.
She probably could have got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
But the amount of time for her to get in trouble for it, the statute of limitations, has passed.
She's a smart lady.
She took the money from the divorce settlement, bought majority of the stock,
Yeah.
and then fired his ass.
It's wild.
I think about women that I have conversations like, I can't hold water. I can't hold this. If I know something, I have to say something. And it is like, when you were upset, that is the worst time to take action. Hold out, sis. Hold out. Hold out a little bit. Think logically. Think this through.
Yeah.
For instance, one time I took all my ex's frequent flyer miles.
Stop.
Yeah, that's good, right?
That's great.
I know.
Never done anything
I transferred
like that.
all his miles.
How?
You go on. You can transfer. I can transfer my miles to you right now.
Really?
Yeah. It costs you a few miles, but doesn't matter. You got money. You could buy flights. Give me these miles. And I moved all his miles from Delta, from United, from American. Everything.
Ash, that's actually amazing. I can't say that I've ever done anything like that. I think I've always just worked harder,
Yeah.
not smarter.
Anyways, takeaway from the Dear Young Queen meme of the week is work smart, not hard.
Love that for us.
What time is it?
It's question time.
What time is it?
It's question time.
Who wants to go first?
I'm going to go first. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of an interesting one, but you're an interesting lady, so I figure like you can handle this.
Okay.
If you could wash your brain, would you wash it with hot or cold water?
Bro, I don't know. Something about washing your brain with hot water feels like it might it up. Like it might melt it or fry it or...
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
No, hot water on your brain feels like the wrong.
It feels like the
thing to
wrong
do.
thing. But like cold water on your brain also feels like a
Freeze.
brain freeze.
Yeah,
And like lukewarm isn't an option, huh?
no.
Okay.
I don't think hot water could actually burn your brain. I mean, how hot is it? We don't know.
We don't know.
Well, it's hot or cold.
Ooh, I know. I know the answer.
What?
Cold. The reason why I'm washing my brain with cold water is because I'm advised to wash both my face and my hair with cold.
You're right.
So it must be cold for my brain.
Killing it.
Ooh, ding, 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 ding. Period.
Period.
That's going to add the fever. You can have, if you have a fever, your brain.
Oh,
have a
shit.
fever, so
Yeah, that's how people.
Interesting. Joseph is very smart.
He is.
We're only medium smart.
He's very smart.
You're right. A fever is literally when the temperature in your brain
Yeah.
heats up.
Yeah. So no hot.
Yeah, you
Gotta
have to
be
wash it with
cold.
cold.
Yeah. And it's
Got it.
not freezing. It's just cold.
Cold. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You made the right decision. Good job, Ash.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, my turn. Ashley, would you rather have 2 average children or would you rather have a successful professional athlete and one that cannot read?
Cannot read.
Nope.
Like,
Can't go out and do
Done,
anything
done.
for themselves. You have to be able to read to do it. You can't even fill out a job application without being able to read.
damn it. I have 2 kids, so this hits really close to home.
Charlie goes and is a successful WNBA player, but Chase is
Well, nobody's helping anybody with a WNBA salary, so that wasn't really helping me the case. So I don't want one of my kids to be like so stupid and cannot even read. That's like a failure as a mother. I think having average children is sort of like you did what you needed to do. I'm going to go 2 average. I understand that average isn't great, but I would rather have 2 average than have 1 super successful and 1 idiot. Yeah, no, I'm going to go average.
You know, it's interesting. I think that if I ask that question to people without kids, they will respond the latter.
Yeah.
It wasn't until you were able to put a face to the child that was helpless.
Yeah.
Like
Imagine,
you literally look
poor
at one of your
Chase.
girls.
Poor Chase, just stupid.
Or
Charlie.
imagine the opposite. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the younger one that's the
Yeah.
successful one and the
I
older
know.
one is.
No, I would not want that for either of my kids. I mean, I don't want my kids to be average either. Like, you always want the very best, but in this scenario, you got to go average because I don't want one that can't even read. That's
Now,
wild.
My argument is probably that people would say the alternative is that the person that's super successful
Yeah.
could hold down the one that's a little bit slower.
Yeah, which is nice and all, but like they're individuals, so it's like tough.
Got it.
I mean, I feel like there's probably a lot of professional athletes, maybe not to the extent, but take care of their family.
Yeah.
But I would say those other people are probably average, not like
Below.
below, typically. So I'm going to go average. It's tough to say because I did always want to have a LeBron or something. Damn it.
Doesn't everybody?
Doesn't everybody want that? Yeah,
Anyways.
Okay. Next question's for you, Ash. Who do you feel safest around?
My mom. Interesting because it's like I do feel like a lot of times now that like when I'm in situations, I'm protecting her or I'm looking out for her or like I'm making sure she's good. But there is something about the safety of the unconditional love. Like unconditional love makes you feel safe. There is something about knowing that like there's pretty much nothing I could do to make her leave. We've fought, we've yelled at each other, called each other names. We've
all the things.
and this person doesn't leave you.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel like you can be yourself. It's the love, the unconditional love. My mom is very smart. She knows a lot about everything.
Yeah.
And I think that it also allows you when you need advice or you have questions.
Yeah.
That like I trust her opinion. And so I feel safe in that she's not going to lead me astray.
Yeah.
And even as you see them become less superhuman and more humans in age,
Yeah.
I still have that safety.
Yeah.
And there's something about that saying, like you can always go home.
Yeah.
That's safety, that's
Safety
comfort,
net.
that's everything. And then the friend wise, who would I feel safest around? I don't know. I don't think I'm the safe friend.
Ouch. That's funny. Are you the safe friend?
Well, it's funny because I was just having this conversation with somebody else the other day. She was like, sometimes you need friends that are like just with the shits and won't ask any questions. I am also that friend.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no safety involved in that.
No.
Like I could have a sense of f***ed up shit, but like we'll have a great
Yeah.
time. So I don't know.
I don't
you're
know
right.
if I call you the safe friend.
If you were in trouble, I would be one of the first people you call to get you out of that whatever it is.
But that doesn't necessarily make you safe. That makes you smart and you know how to get out of shit.
Sneaky, conniving, tricky. A lot of words, but not safe. All right, Ash.
Okay.
Well, look, I'm ready for next week.
Can't
I'm ready to get this
wait.
thing rolling.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season.
Let's get it. Until next week.
Bye.
Bye.